You've been watching your portions, skipping the desserts, walking more, and saying no to the second serving. And after all of that effort, the scale finally budges. You feel a little lighter. Your pants fit better around the thighs. Even your face starts to look a bit more defined. But then, you glance in the mirror and the same stubborn belly fat is still there, holding on like it never got the memo. It almost feels like betrayal. Why is it that your arms respond? Your face slims down, but your belly refuses to let go. The truth is, your body isn't fighting you. It's protecting you. That belly fat isn't just energy storage. It's a biological safeguard, evolved over thousands of years to keep your vital organs safe in times of famine. And unless your body feels safe, it won't unlock that protection. In this story, we'll uncover the real science behind belly fat, the moment your body actually begins to burn it, and how to recognize the signs that change is finally underway. This isn't just about dieting harder. It's about understanding how your body works and how to work with it, not against it. So, let's begin at the beginning, that first week of your diet, when things seem to happen fast but often for the wrong reasons. You start eating cleaner, you reduce your calories, maybe you skip a few snacks, and suddenly the number on the scale drops. 2 pounds, 3 pounds, sometimes even 5. It feels like magic. But here's the truth, it's not fat loss yet. What you're seeing is your body's first stage of adaptation. When you reduce your calorie intake, your body doesn't immediately think, time to burn fat. Instead, it panics. It senses an energy shortage, a disruption to its routine. So rather than reaching for stored fat right away, your body turns to something else first: glycogen. Glycogen is your body's stored form of glucose. It's stored in your muscles and liver, and it's the go-to energy source when food isn't coming in. The catch? Glycogen is stored with water. For every gram of glycogen, your body holds on to about 3 grams of water. So when you start using up glycogen in those early days of dieting, the water goes with it. That's why the scale drops quickly at first. It's not a sign of fat loss, it's water loss. You might feel lighter and even more energetic, but your body is still figuring things out. It's treating your calorie deficit like a temporary glitch, not a permanent change. That's important to understand because many people celebrate that early weight loss, thinking they finally unlocked the secret. But when the scale slows down or stops after a week or two, they feel defeated. In reality, that slowdown isn't failure. It's a sign that your body is preparing for the next phase, the deeper shift into fat burning. Frank, a 71-year-old retired teacher from Ohio, started his diet with dedication. He followed a sensible meal plan, cut out sugary snacks, and walked every evening. In the first 6 days, he lost 5 pounds, but his waistline didn't budge. He felt frustrated until he learned the truth. That drop was water weight, not belly fat. But it was also progress, because once glycogen starts to run low, something important happens. Your insulin levels begin to decrease. And when insulin drops, your body finally gets the green light to start accessing stored fat. That transition doesn't happen overnight. It usually takes 3 to 5 days of consistent calorie deficit before your body even considers dipping into fat stores. So if you've ever felt discouraged during that first week because the mirror didn't reflect your hard work, don't be. Something was happening. Your body was warming up, setting the stage for real transformation. That early drop in weight, even if it's just water, is like your body whispering, "Okay, I see what you're doing. Let me test if you're serious." And if you are consistent, if you hold your course, your body will respond, just not right away in the belly. The first week is about convincing your metabolism that change is coming. It's about proving that you're not just skipping one meal. You're building a new pattern. And once your body sees that pattern is real, it will adapt in ways you can't yet see, but you will soon feel. Fat loss is not about flipping a switch. It's about steadying the rhythm until your body dances to a new beat. As your body begins adjusting to the new rhythm of lower calorie intake, a silent network of messengers starts to take center stage. These messengers are your hormones. They don't just influence fat loss, they control it. Think of them as the gatekeepers of your metabolism, deciding whether fat stays locked away or is finally allowed to be used as energy. And when it comes to belly fat, their role becomes even more critical. Let's start with insulin. Insulin is the hormone that helps store energy. Every time you eat, especially carbohydrates or sugar, insulin rises to shuttle glucose into your cells. When insulin is consistently high, like during periods of frequent snacking or diets heavy in processed foods, your body stays in storage mode. That means fat, especially belly fat, remains untouched. It's like your energy vault is sealed shut. But during a calorie deficit, something powerful happens. Over time, with fewer glucose spikes, your insulin levels gradually fall. And when insulin drops low enough, it finally sends a signal to your body it's okay to start releasing stored fat. This shift doesn't happen on day one. It happens only after the body senses a steady, safe reduction in energy intake. That's why consistency is more important than intensity. You can't crash your way into fat burning. You have to earn it through rhythm. But insulin isn't working alone. Another powerful hormone is cortisol, your body's primary stress hormone. Cortisol plays many roles, but when it comes to belly fat, it often works against your goals. During periods of chronic stress, whether it's from lack of sleep, overtraining, emotional tension, or even anxiety about dieting itself, cortisol levels remain elevated. And high cortisol not only encourages your body to hold on to fat, but it tends to store that fat specifically around your midsection. Scientists refer to this as central adiposity. It's your body's way of protecting vital organs by padding them with energy reserves. Evolution saw stress as danger, and storing belly fat was one way to survive it. In today's world, where stress is constant but famine is rare, this ancient response becomes a barrier. That's why managing stress is not a side note. It's central to fat loss. You can have the perfect diet and a solid workout plan, but if cortisol stays high, your belly fat won't budge. Leptin and ghrelin are two more hormones playing their part in this story. Leptin is your satiety hormone. It tells your brain when you've had enough to eat. Ghrelin does the opposite, it tells you when you're hungry. In a perfect world, they dance in balance. But dieting can throw that balance off. When calorie intake drops, ghrelin can surge, making you feel hungrier than usual, while leptin may decrease, reducing your feeling of fullness. This hormonal tug-of-war can make sticking to a diet feel like a battle of willpower, but it's really a battle of chemistry. Over time, if your body adapts to a new eating pattern, leptin and ghrelin may stabilize again. But that takes patience and a steady approach. So when people say fat loss is just about eating less and moving more, they're missing the point. That's like saying an orchestra plays well just because it has all the instruments. The truth is, without a conductor, without hormones working in harmony, the music falls apart. Your hormones are the invisible conductors of your body's energy system. When they align, your body becomes more efficient, more responsive, and more willing to let go of what it's been holding onto. And when they don't, no amount of willpower will override the internal resistance. Understanding this changes the game. Fat loss isn't a punishment. It's a negotiation between you and your biology. And the more you support your hormones through balanced meals, gentle movement, deep sleep, and stress relief, the more your body will trust you. And when it trusts you, it lets go. Not just of fat, but of the fear it's been storing for years. By now, your body has passed through the initial shock of fewer calories. The water weight has come off. Your meals are more intentional. Your snacks are less impulsive. And your energy, though slightly lower at times, begins to feel more stable. It's in this phase, usually between the end of week 1 and somewhere around week 3, that your body faces a decision. A metabolic fork in the road. Do we keep fighting for stored sugar, or is it time to unlock the vault of stored fat? This is the moment many people don't realize they've reached. It doesn't feel like a grand event. There's no alarm bell or flashing sign, but inside your cells, something significant is happening. As glycogen reserves run low, your insulin levels, already reduced from consistent eating patterns, drop further. With less insulin blocking the gates, your fat cells begin to open. This is the beginning of true fat burning. Your body starts converting stored triglycerides into usable energy. Your liver begins producing ketone bodies, an alternative fuel source especially helpful for the brain and muscles. This process is called metabolic flexibility, your body's ability to switch from burning carbs to burning fat depending on availability. It's not a magic trick. It's a survival mechanism. And when you diet consistently and safely, you teach your body to trust that fuel will always come, even if it looks a little different now. But here's the nuance. Just because your body starts burning fat doesn't mean it's burning belly fat yet. It starts where fat is most metabolically active, often in areas like the upper back, the thighs, or even visceral fat deep inside the abdomen. You may notice your face looks leaner. Your energy is more even. You don't crash between meals. These are signs of metabolic adaptation, a state where your body is no longer panicking. It's no longer resisting the deficit. It's working with it. That's why many people report clearer thinking, better focus, and reduced sugar cravings during this time. Their body has moved from fight to flow. But this is also the point where frustration can creep in. You've been eating well. You've stayed consistent. You feel better, but your belly still hasn't changed much. This is where understanding the timeline becomes essential. According to recent studies, including a 2017 meta-analysis published in Obesity Reviews, visceral fat, the kind surrounding internal organs, tends to reduce faster than subcutaneous fat, which sits just under the skin. That means that dangerous fat is likely already being burned, even if the fat you can pinch hasn't moved yet. This is good news, even if it doesn't feel like it. Your health is improving before your reflection catches up. For someone with insulin resistance or years of chronic stress, this transition might take longer. Instead of days, it might take 2, 4, even 6 weeks. But once the switch happens, once your body accepts fat as its primary energy source, progress compounds. Fat loss accelerates because your metabolism is no longer stuck in sugar mode. Instead, It flows smoothly between energy sources, depending on need. That's metabolic efficiency. That's the true sign of change. So if you're listening to this wondering whether your efforts are doing anything, if you've made it past the first week, if you've stayed consistent for 10, 14, or 20 days, know this: you are likely already in the beginning stages of fat burning. The scale might not scream it, the mirror might not show it, but your biology does. Your reduced cravings, your even energy, your clearer mind, these are whispers from your metabolism saying, "I'm with you. Keep going." And that's the lesson most people miss. Fat burning doesn't begin with fire. It begins with silence, with small, quiet shifts inside the body that grow stronger the longer you stay the course. Your job isn't to force fat loss. It's to create the conditions where your body feels safe enough to do it. And if you've done that, the hard part is already behind you. Now, it's about moving forward with trust. When we talk about belly fat, it's easy to imagine it as one uniform layer, something we can grab, pinch, or measure with a tape. But in truth, not all fat is created equal. And the difference between the fat you can see and the fat you can't change is everything about how your body loses weight and how fast. Beneath the surface of your stomach, there are two main types of fat. The first is subcutaneous fat. This is the soft, jiggly layer that sits directly under the skin. It's what most people think of when they talk about belly fat, and it's also the fat that makes jeans feel tight and mirrors feel unforgiving. Subcutaneous fat is not inherently dangerous. It's more cosmetic than clinical, and while it can be frustrating, it's not the type that puts your health most at risk. Then there's visceral fat. This is the hidden fat that wraps around your internal organs, your liver, intestines, kidneys, and pancreas. You can't see it or pinch it, but you can feel its effects over time. Visceral fat is metabolically active, meaning it interacts with your hormones, your blood sugar, and your immune system. It increases inflammation, raises your risk for heart disease and type 2 diabetes, and is strongly associated with insulin resistance. In short, it's the kind of fat your body takes very seriously. Now here's the twist. Despite being more dangerous, visceral fat is usually the first to go when you begin losing weight. Because it's more metabolically active, your body tends to tap into it faster when energy becomes scarce. That means long before you see a difference in the mirror, your internal systems may already be healing. Your blood pressure may improve. Your cholesterol may drop. Your fasting glucose may stabilize. In fact, many people notice they feel better, more energy, clearer thinking, improved sleep, even though their waistline hasn't changed much. That's not a fluke. It's a signal that something important is happening under the surface. But the fat you can see, the subcutaneous layer that rests right above the visceral one, is usually the last to go. It's less responsive to hormonal shifts, less metabolically active, and more persistent. That's why belly fat feels so stubborn. It's not that your body is ignoring it. It's that it's working from the inside out. The visceral fat is the priority because it threatens survival. The subcutaneous fat is more about aesthetics, so the body deals with it after the critical systems are protected. This can feel slow and discouraging, but it's actually a sign that your metabolism is doing exactly what it should. For many, this realization brings relief. You're not failing just because your stomach still looks the same after a few weeks. You may have already lost a significant amount of visceral fat, the kind that matters most for your long-term health. According to health experts from institutions like the Cleveland Clinic and Harvard, reductions in visceral fat can begin within a few weeks of consistent dietary change, even if waist measurements haven't caught up. So the next time you feel frustrated that your belly fat seems unchanged, remember the fat your body is burning may be the kind that's saving your life. Progress isn't always visible, but it's always meaningful. By now, you've seen how biology, hormones, and metabolism all play a role in when and how belly fat begins to burn. But there's one more set of allies in this journey that often get overlooked: your daily habits. The small, consistent actions that either support your body's ability to lose fat or silently hold it back. And in this part of the story, rest, stress, and movement are just as powerful as what you put on your plate. Let's start with sleep. While many people treat sleep as optional, your body sees it as non-negotiable. Deep sleep is when your body repairs itself. It's when growth hormone is released, tissues are rebuilt, and your metabolic system gets a chance to reset. Skipping sleep disrupts this process. It raises cortisol levels, increases cravings for sugar and processed carbs, and decreases leptin, your satiety hormone. That means you not only feel hungrier the next day, but you're more likely to store fat, especially around your abdomen. Studies from Harvard and the National Institutes of Health have repeatedly shown a link between poor sleep and abdominal weight gain, regardless of diet. So if you're getting 6 hours or less a night, one of the best fat-burning strategies is to get more rest, not more reps. Next is stress. Not just big, life-altering stress, but the chronic, everyday kind: traffic, deadlines, worries about money, family tension, even the silent pressure of trying to lose weight. Your body doesn't distinguish between types of stress. To your nervous system, Stress is stress. And when stress lingers, cortisol stays elevated, encouraging fat storage around your belly as a protective mechanism. That's why tools like mindfulness, deep breathing, journaling, gentle stretching, or simply going for a walk can be more than calming their fat loss strategies. When your mind slows down, your hormones follow. And when your hormones are stable, your metabolism works better. Movement plays a different role. It's not just about burning calories. It's about signaling to your body that it's safe and strong. Resistance training helps preserve and build muscle, which increases your resting metabolic rate, meaning you burn more energy even while sleeping. Walking, cycling, and yoga help reduce insulin resistance and keep blood sugar levels stable. High-intensity interval training, when used sparingly, can trigger a powerful afterburn effect where your body continues to burn fat for hours after exercise. But no movement is wasted. The key isn't to punish your body, it's to teach it. Consistency beats intensity, and variety keeps your system adaptable. All of these tools, sleep, stress management, movement, work together to create the internal environment your body needs to safely let go of belly fat. They tell your system, we're not in danger. You can release what you've been holding, because in the end, fat loss isn't just about what you eat. It's about what your body believes. So let's bring everything together. Losing belly fat takes time, not because you're doing it wrong, but because your body is doing it right. It's prioritizing survival, adjusting hormones, protecting organs, and reshaping how it burns energy. Visceral fat often melts before visible fat does. The first few pounds are mostly water. The second few are metabolic alignment. And the rest, that's when the visible transformation begins. But it only happens if you stay long enough to see it through. So here's what matters most. Don't let the mirror rush you. Don't let the scale discourage you. Look for the quiet victories: steadier energy, fewer cravings, clearer focus, deeper sleep. Those are your real milestones. And if you've made it this far, you're not just dieting anymore. You're changing your story. Your body isn't the enemy. It's your partner. And it's listening. The question isn't how quickly belly fat will burn. The question is, will you still be here when it finally does? If this message resonates with you, share it with someone who needs it. Because the real transformation doesn't start with fat loss. It starts with understanding. And that's what lasts.